Hello, Janesville, and welcome back to Park Place Views, the monthly program that aims to keep Janesville residents informed by highlighting the people, places, and partners of the City of Janesville. As always, this program is brought to you by the City of Janesville and JATV Media Services. I'm your host, Amanda Gilbert, the Communications Specialist for the City of Janesville. In last month's episode, we sat down with Chris Cook, the Janesville Farmers Market Manager, where we talked about everything you can expect when you visit the Farmers Market this year. Today, I'm looking forward to being joined by Operations Director Ethan Lee. Director Lee is just about to wrap up his first year as director, so I thought it'd be a great time to have him on to talk about his role and all the different things the Operations Division does to keep Janesville a great place to be. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ethan.
Yeah, thanks, Amanda. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. So before we jump into things, why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in Janesville, left for a brief period of time just to pursue my career in forestry at UW-Madison. So after spending some time in Madison, kind of realized that, a big-ish city isn't necessarily the place for me. So I got a position as a utility forester for Davie Resource Group and moved back to Janesville. And, that's when I kind of started pursuing a little bit more of a career in urban forestry. So, yeah.
Well, awesome. Like I mentioned at the start of the program, you're just about to round out your first year as operations director, but it's not your first year with the city at all. You've held a couple different positions. Can you walk us through those roles and what the responsibilities were?
Yeah, so I've been with the city of Janesville for 10 years, and that's excluding my internship, which I did in 2013, but I was hired full-time for the city in 2015 as the Parks and Forestry Coordinator, so a different role that I'm in now. But so I went from Parks and Forestry Coordinator to Parks Supervisor, and in 2021 I joined the Operations Division as the Operations Superintendent, and then now Operations Director since August of 2024. So it's been really great. Awesome.
We're so happy you've stuck around and been here and grown into different roles. I know everyone loves having you on the team, so that's great.
Thank you.
Yeah. But operations is sort of a vague title to people, I think. Can you walk us through the different things that operations is in charge of within the city?
Yeah, operations is, like you mentioned, a very diverse work group. We do a lot of pretty critical things for the community. So it goes from, paved street maintenance. We do the curbside trash and recycling program, which obviously is, a critical service here in the city. People rely on daily. We manage the city's landfill, providing, customers inside the city, residents, external customers. We also do technical services, which is the facility, traffic signal, street light maintenance, as well as the vehicle and operation maintenance side of things, which is the procurement and repair of the city's fleet. So pretty diverse work group, really touching kind of all corners of the city on a daily basis. And, it's that kind of diversity that I think all of us out at operations really enjoy.
Yeah, tons of different things. I know in talking with different people who works out at the City Services Center, they love that each day is different and it's not the same monotonous task that you might get in a different division or a different job. So it's really cool that you guys touch so many different areas of operations, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it could be, you think about April, kind of a transition seasonally wise. We could be snow plowing one day and out making a road repair the next. So it's really, pretty interesting. And that's, like you mentioned, what we really like.
Yeah, totally. And you brought up the snow plows briefly. I want to touch on, how does your team prepare for a winter storm or any of those bigger seasonal challenges?
Yeah, so funny enough, snow is something we're really kind of thinking about all year. It's, during that kind of November, October to April time period into May at sometimes, we're really focused on snow and ice management. But then, outside of that, we're making sure the fleet's prepared. We're decommissioning old equipment and replacing it with new. We're servicing equipment to make sure it's ready to go for the next year. We're making sure our product inventories like salt and other liquids are full and ready to go for the next season. It's really, kind of a 365 type operation where we're thinking about snow. Preparation for that is obviously from October until April, May. We're really checking the radar every single day. It's a commitment. We're all kind of addicted to, how many weather apps can you check and that sort of thing to make sure we're prepared. So, yeah, we're thinking about snow all the time, especially during the winter. It's a critical service we provide. We want people to be able to navigate throughout the community safely and, with hopefully as little disruption as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you guys are out there just plowing, clearing the streets, and other time it's a bigger winter weather emergency. Can you tell us about what goes into making that decision on, is it going to be a winter weather emergency, and how is that information then dispersed to the public?
Yeah, it's really, we tailor that to the specific storm. A lot of times accumulation would be our indicator for declaring a winter weather emergency. If we're in the 2 to 3 inch range, we're potentially more than likely going to call a winter weather emergency. But the weather kind of temperatures leading up to and after an event can really help us kind of tailor our, winter weather prescription. So, for example, kind of an outlier from accumulation would be if we're going to have a heavy ice event, we are more than likely going to declare a winter weather emergency, with the goal being, that's a pretty hazardous condition, creates roads that can be hard to navigate. And so our goal, so we can provide a higher level of service and our operators perform their duties safely and make sure the public is safe, is to declare a winter weather emergency and encourage people to get their vehicles off the road. It's critically important. So again, that our drivers are safe, other motorists are safe, and then we can properly clear the street from one curb to the other. So winter weather emergency is a helpful tool for us, and I think it's a good communication piece for the public to, kind of be cued in on what our plan is and how we're going to perform our winter weather duties. So it's great that we can prepare those and work with the city manager's office to get stuff spread out as far as wide as possible, whether that's, social media or press release or Nixle. We work with Lamar to get those on the digital billboards. So really our goal is to communicate well in as many methods as possible, so that way people are aware and can help us help them, kind of thing.
Yeah, perfect. I think it's so great too. I think a lot of people base then their travel plans or different, work schedules around what is the city declaring or not. Is it going to be a safe travel day or not? And I think, operations is really at the forefront of that, definitely.
Yeah, and we appreciate, how many people see those things and then do, kind of what we're asking or hope that they do, get vehicles off the street and travel as little as possible, as only as necessary. So yeah, right. I appreciate the public kind of queuing in on that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I know you just said that you kind of think about winter all year round, but I want to dial in, since it's June now and it's summer. What does summer look like for the folks out in operations?
Yeah, I think, kind of what we're doing is similar to what, residents in the community might see from private contractors around the city. There's a lot of construction activities going on. The frost has come out of the ground, and we're able to do excavations on storm sewer inlets. There's hot mix asphalt ready to go, so we're doing road repairs that may have come up over the winter that may have cold mix asphalt in it, so we're doing some of those permanent repairs. We're obviously performing curbside collection. That's year-round, but summertime people are having their get-togethers with their families and stuff, so that tonnage goes up. So there's a little bit more of a demand on that crew. It's a whole plethora of things. Plus, kind of our emergency response duties may change this time of year, in that we could be getting a call in for summer storms or any other kind of emergency situation. We're also assisting. There's a lot more public events this time of year, so we may be assisting with road closures or that sort of thing as part of some of these special events that occur throughout the community.
Yeah, totally. You guys stay busy year round.
Yeah, absolutely.
You mentioned the curb collection. If someone's new to the area or they just need a little reminder on when their pickup day is, how can folks figure it out?
Yeah, the sanitation page on the city website is really great. Right at the top of that webpage under the operations division is a big blue link, hyperlink, which will take folks right to the annual calendar, as well as page 2 of that is going to be the collection map. And so people can refer to that calendar. It will reference whether they're a shaded or unshaded week, and that dictates what week they have their recycling program. So we do every other week recycling here. So whether they're shaded or unshaded, reference back to the calendar, that kind of helps point them towards, do I put my recycling out or not?
Awesome. Also on the calendar, we have the dates listed for the spring and fall loose leaf and bagged yard waste collection programs. Can you tell us about those services?
Yeah, so we do 3 pickups throughout the year. The big one that many people are familiar with is our 2-week curbside loose leaf collection program, which is primarily managed by parks. Operations staff provide some assistance in our supplemental leaf vacuum equipment as well as street sweeping following that event. But then in the fall, winter-ish, early December, following that loose leaf pickup, we'll do another bagged pickup. And so that's where we can do bagged and bundled brush pickup, typically, around December. And then we'll do another spring yard waste pickup, bag collection, and that's typically in May.
Nice. So lots of days and opportunities for people to clean up their yard and get rid of all those sticks before mowing season comes or the snow or what have you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Plenty of opportunities, and then outside of that, taking them to the compost site.
And that leads me to my next question, too. In case people miss the opportunity to have it picked up for them, we have the sanitary landfill and we have the compost site. Could you tell us about those facilities? Yeah,
so the compost site is located on Blackbridge Road, more nearest to the transit facility, transit headquarters. And that facility takes, they're open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And that site will take in anything from, brush and yard waste to untreated, unpainted lumber, as well as, concrete. And then the sanitary landfill, that's located kind of across, on Blackbridge Road as well, but across from Lycon and waste management facility there. And in that site, similar hours were 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday. And at that site, we take a whole variety of things.
Nice. So are those facilities then open year-round, and how can residents find out if they're open or not?
So both sites are open year-round. The compost site is a little bit unique in that we staff that site from around March to December. And then outside of that window, when the site is not staffed, we will refer residents or people using the site. They go to the sanitary landfill where the load's inspected. They'll be charged if there's a charge to be assessed. And then a key will be distributed to them, so then they can go to the compost site, let themselves in, perform their duties, and then head back to the sanitary site to drop off the key. So the site is open year-round. It just, a little bit different protocol outside of our normal staffed hours.
Right. And you guys saw a lot of traction last June when the tornado hit. And something that our viewers may not be aware of is just how vital of a role the operations division played in the cleanup of the tornado. Could you tell us a bit about the operations efforts and what it looked like to be a part of that emergency management team?
Yeah, absolutely. I know, that June 2024 tornado was obviously hugely impactful to the community and residents on the south side and many departments and divisions within the city. Operations certainly played a role. We had staff out for extended hours, around 12 hours a day for nearly 2 weeks straight with the initial pickup. And then we performed a weekly rotation picking up within the priority zones, tornado priority zones. We did weekly brush pickup through July. So the amount of material that we took in and within those areas as well, what was brought in throughout the community by contractors and residents, it was majorly impactful. We also had our tech services group was very busy with streetlight and traffic signal issues, especially early on. We had some signals that were damaged and streetlights that were damaged as a result of the wind and the gusts. And obviously at our yard waste site and the sanitary landfill, there was a lot of extra debris coming in. So we were doing open for alternate hours during that time, and staff were pushing those piles more often. And so there was certainly a impact to operations and the team, but it's one of those things very impactful to the community, so we were happy to shift focus and help people through such a difficult time.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Ethan, I know that you are big on trees. You're very passionate about trees. Are there any plans or ideas in place to plant some new trees, maybe post-tornado or any of these other larger windstorms that we've had?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of what we were picking up was tree debris, and so the urban canopy down there was pretty majorly impacted. I know that, being in the same facility as parks out at City Services, a lot of chatter from them about replanting within their parks that were impacted on the south side of Janesville. And so they've been doing, a pretty big reforestation effort for that stuff. And actually, there's a local community group, the Janesville Urban Forest Alliance, that's kind of established a smaller scale project to reach out to homeowners down on the south side in those priority zones and see if anybody's interested in a tree. So
nice.
Kind of a unique, and that's planting on private property. So kind of a unique solution there to, kind of private, a public not-for-profit kind of coming in and assisting people with some reforestation. When people incur costs like that, it's nice to see a group step up and do something to help.
Yeah, that's super neat.
Yeah.
We're rounding out our show today, Ethan, but I want to ask you, what is one thing you wish residents better understood about your division?
Yeah, I think, it's something that's evident to me every single day when I report to work, and that's just how passionate our work group is about what they do and the services they provide. So, it's truly the staff embracing public service, understanding that, making road repairs so people can have their daily commute a little bit better, and performing curbside trash collection so that way people know and understand that their waste is being managed appropriately and effectively. Managing the landfill so people have a place close by to go and do what they need to. Winter management, snow and ice control, it's something that the group out at operations at City Services takes very seriously and knows kind of the impact of, all right, I'm going to answer my phone tonight and I'm going to come in and work an extended shift, and hopefully by the morning commute everything's good for folks to do what they need to do, and best case scenario they hardly even know that we're out. It's just like went to bed, woke up, and the streets are clean. So I think, just that, it's evident to me every day that I see kind of the passion and the effort everybody puts in every day, and so just recognizing that that effort's put in, and there's truly a lot of passion and care out at City Services.
Yeah, absolutely. That's incredible. Before I let you go, Ethan, if folks have more questions or would like additional information, how can they reach out to you?
Yeah, we have two amazing customer service reps out at City Services that help hundreds of people a week, through a whole multitude of questions. So reaching out to the general City Services line at 608-755-3110 is a great solution, or, reach out to me, contact information available on the Contact Us page on the city website.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ethan. And, behalf on myself and the listeners, I know that we're all so thankful for you and your team out at City Services Center for helping keep Janesville clean and moving, and just everything that you guys do. We're so thankful for.
Yeah, thanks, Amanda. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of our viewers, I thank you all for tuning in today, and I invite you to stay connected with the city by following us on Facebook and Instagram, signing up for notifications from the JPD via the Nixle app, and signing up to receive city press releases by visiting janesvillewi.gov/email lists. For Park Place Views and the City of Janesville, I'm Amanda Gilbert. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again next month.